You never want to be in a position where something is that important to you to do and you can't do it because the boss says you can't. You want to be able to own yourself and make your own decisions. The way for sustainability is through practice. You must have a spiritual practice. What is yours? Well, for some people, it is going to church, and that's where they nurture themselves. I believe that creativity, artful expression, prayer, conscious kindness, empathy, consistent compassion, gratitude, all spiritual practices in the way of becoming more of who you are. So I started a gratitude journal. I mean, when I was journaling since actually I was standing here in 1970. I had have in my journal about visiting Stanford and what it meant to come here as an orator. And for years, all of my journals were filled with, he done love me, I can't believe she did that to me, and this is what happened today. And about the late 80s, someone introduced the idea of a gratitude journal to me. Gratitude journaling has become a spiritual practice that leads to a more enhanced and meaningful life, and you can start it today. And I guarantee, if you did it for a week, you would see a difference. Because every day, and I'll do it when I go home, 5 things I write down that I am grateful for, or that brought me joy, or opened my heart space. And by practicing gratitude, what you realize is that you wake up in the morning thinking about what are those 5 things going to be, because some days there's only 3. So practicing gratitude in a way that allows you to take stock of your life. That's why it's a spiritual practice, because you're now taking stock of your life. You're assessing where you are spiritually. And in order to maintain a sense of growing yourself forward, it requires also being in a place of knowing that after you've done all that you can, there's a wonderful song by Donnie McClurkin. It says, you just stand. There comes a time in everybody's life when you've actually done all that you can do and you really want something so badly, but it still isn't coming forward for you in a way that you feel that it should. I know that what is for you will come to you. I know that for sure. And I know that many times when it appears that something is happening to you, it is always, always happening for you, to strengthen you. Because my definition of power is strength over time. Strength times strength times strength times strength. So I'll leave you with my favorite story. I said this today about The Color Purple. It's one of my favorite stories because it changed the meaning of my life and changed the trajectory of my life. First of all, when I was doing The Color Purple, I'd just come to Chicago and started a show called AM Chicago. And I'd ask my bosses for the time off. And I needed 2 months to do The Color Purple. And they said to me, you don't have 2 months. Your contract says you only get 2 weeks a year. So in order for us to give you the time off, you're going to have to give up your remaining time on your contract to do The Color Purple. I wanted to do it so badly that I said, all right, I'll give up the next 5 years of my contract in order to do it. What happened was after The Color Purple, after I filmed The Color Purple, and the Oprah show was so successful, becoming so successful, it was actually still called AM Chicago, the bosses at my channel wanted to renegotiate the contract. And my lawyer at the time said, remember The Color Purple. You never want to be in a position where something is that important to you to do, and you can't do it because the boss says you can't. You want to be able to own yourself and make your own decisions about what's important to you to do, and that was something that's really important to you. So the fact that I had not been allowed the time for The Color Purple is the reason why I made the decision to take the risk to own my own show. And that has made all the difference in the trajectory of my career. But let me try to shorten this Color Purple story, because it changed the trajectory of my life. I wanted to be in The Color Purple more than anything I've ever wanted in my life. I read the book on a Sunday. I got up, went back to the bookstore, got every other copy of the book. I passed it out to everybody I knew. As life would have it, because you're always drawing things to you. You're drawing energy to you. Out of nowhere, supposedly, coincidence, no such thing. But I get a call from a casting agent saying that they're casting for this movie called The Color Purple. This movie called Moonsong. And I said, "Are you sure it's not The Color Purple?" And he said, "No, it's called Moonsong." Because at the time, Steven Spielberg didn't want anybody to know he was shooting The Color Purple. So I go and audition for the movie. I can't believe that God has allowed this to happen, because I am auditioning with a character named Harpo. Do y'all know Harpo is Oprah spelled backwards? I think that is a direct sign from Jesus. That not only am I now auditioning, I'm auditioning with somebody named Harpo. Amazing. When all I'd really asked God, I said, "God, please help me get in this movie. Help me get in this movie. I don't know anybody in the movies. I'm in Chicago doing a show called AM Chicago. I thought I could be, script girl, best boy, whatever, the last credit on the movie." Bottom line is, a long time passed. I call up the agent, and the agent said, "You don't call us, we call you." And I didn't call you. I hung up the phone. I was so upset. All the weight is caught up with me. I know they hate me because I'm fat. I said, I'm going to go and I'm going to lose weight. And I'm going to try to release this obsession that I have with The Color Purple. I'm going to try to let that go, because now much time has passed. And I am on the track, running around the track, and I can hear my thighs rubbing together. And I start crying because, oh gosh, now my thighs are rubbing together and it's raining and my hair is getting wet. So I started to pray, and I'm praying and I'm crying, and I'm asking God, God, please help me let this go. I'm obsessed. I want it. Reuben Cannon had told me that real actresses had auditioned for that part, and that I wasn't a real actress, and that Alfre Woodard had just left his office. So I thought, for sure, Alfre Woodard's going to get that part. And I'm running around the track praying and crying. And the way prayer works is you could pray, but if you don't release it, if you don't surrender it, it goes nowhere. It's just you talking to yourself. I could release the pain, the suffering of the rejection that Reuben Cannon had caused me by telling me that I don't call you. And then I realized, I'm still carrying it around, so I won't be able to go to see the movie, so I'm going to now pray that I can bless Alfre Woodard in the movie. Let me bless Alfre Woodard so I'll be able to go see this movie. I start singing again. I surrender all. Please don't let me have now a grudge against Alfre Woodard who took my movie. Let me have peace in my heart about that. So I pray until I singing, I surrender all. A woman comes out and says to me that there's a phone call for you. And in that phone call, I was told next day, show up in Steven Spielberg's office. And if you lose a pound, you could lose this part. So I stopped at the Dairy Queen. But the point of the story is surrender. And the point of the story is, I thought I could just be script girl, best girl, whatever. I was just happy to be anywhere in the film. The point of the story is, God can dream, the universe can dream, your creation can dream, the flow of your life can dream, has a bigger plan and a bigger dream for you than you can ever even imagine for yourself.